Hello and welcome back to another episode of Europa Universalis for Castile. When we last left off, I had finished the war against the Papal State, and quite frankly, the Papal State has been reduced enough that I'm tempted to eventually make it my vassal. See, here's the thing. People will always fight over the Papal State, and the Papal State will fight over people nearby. But once I take Italy, I might vassalize the Papal State because depending on your relation with the Papal State, it modifies the percentage of papal influence you get. But if you take over the Papal State, it's not going to like you too much. And I haven't been too worried about that because I've had no reason to try and get more of it, but as we get later in the game, stuff like levy church tax will give me several hundreds of gold. And the manpower will be in the thousands. And those will become major helps in the middle of wars. Or at least the manpower will, the money will probably be more helpful during peace times. But I am also slowly annexing Ragusa. It is done on the 25th of April, so a little less than a year from now. And I have settled next to this territory and fabricating a claim on it. There is Ballantly English up here, but if I can lock them off in a way that I want, so I can create a better section for Spanish Brazil, that would be really nice. Because basically, they can only colonize next to territories. Like if it's inland, they can only colonize next to territories that they already own. And by own, I mean not a colony, it has to actually already be completed. They can colonize on the shoreline though, but what I'm going to do is eventually explore down here, so that way I can lock off a section that I want, and once I successfully lock that off, I'll move down and lock more sections until I am all settled. There's also the issue of people over here, and I want to lock these off, which unfortunately requires 3 colonists, which I am far away from even getting a second one. I need quite a lot. But when I do that, once I unlock those 2, I will be able to get the Spanish Inquisition and freely convert Granada at that point, because my missionaries are currently not powerful enough to do so. Also, my treaty is 5 years, so because Portugal. Oh yeah, I forgot that France declared that France trade embargoed me after I did not accept the thing to go into their war in time, because I basically wouldn't have been able to get over there in time. Granted, his ships went over there and destroyed the Naples Navy, but still. I would have preferred other things. Also, it is still not running very well. Like I said, I hope they update. I hope they. I hope I speak English. I hope they get an update that makes this run smoother. So I really would not like or enjoy starting over. I believe I have you because I did not have the money to finish you, because you need another horseman and then you need a full grouping of infantry. And I have nearly fabricated the claim on you, so I'm just going to not bother stopping to feed my infantry. But let's build another horseman. Oh no, they found out that I was fabricating a claim on them. Whatever will I do? It really doesn't matter to anybody of note, quite frankly. That is 430. I actually like to save my power up to the top, because I might have to spend a little bit less because of neighbor bonuses. Granted, I never really use my military power for anything except later on some things over here, like I believe I get offensive in quantity because that increases the amount of forces I have, which honestly, more forces are better than stronger forces. I know that sounds weird, but from what I found, if it doesn't matter if you have a very good army, because you also need a very good general to lead it. And the only problem with that, and yay, I had extra Gusa. The only problem with requiring a very good general is you need a very high army tradition, which mine is currently 37. That's actually not terrible, but it decreases by 1.87 yearly, which is terrible. I'm actually going to send my transport boats over to pick you guys up. As for you, you are 2 more transport boats. I do not need you. Also, there was something that I thought about. For one, oh yeah, you're the explorer, correct? For one, trade ships. Maybe trade ships would actually help me. I'm not entirely sure on that though. Yes, now that I have declared a reason to attack you, I will simply walk on top of you. And that'll be it. That'll be the end of it. And their army's dead. What I want to do next is go over there, like put a thing, explore next to them, and then put a thing next to them, so that way I can fabricate a claim on them and get their territory as well. This 20,000 will stay down here to put down the rebellions that will eventually ensue. The League of Schmalkalden. I'm terrible. After Emperor Charles V had rejected the Protestant confessional positions at the Imperial Parliament of Augsburg, 1529-1530, the North German Protestant Imperial Estates formed the League of Schmalkalden. If I took a couple minutes to actually figure that out, I would probably pronounce it much better. With a joint army and treasury seeking ties abroad, France, the League enjoyed early success in the years 1532 to 1540, as the Emperor was threatened by Turkish danger and forced to conclude religious peace settlements in Nuremberg 1532 and Caden 1534. Give your support. England, France, and the Hansa's relation to me improved by 50, Austria's down by 50, and gain 5 prestige. Or ignore it and have everybody else's relation down by 10, but gain 10 legitimacy. Quite frankly, making France happy, don't really care about the Hansa, but I don't think I really care about England either, and I don't care about Austria, because they already hate me. So I will get the 5 prestige more. Yeah, they already consider me... Actually, oh yeah, I forgot, I cheesed an alliance into England. Because they offered an alliance when I had unallied unallied France because of the rejection of the war, and then I went to ally France, and then I quickly accepted the alliance offer from England. So now I'm allied with the 2 superpowers that always have hated each other. This should be good. I think, funnily enough, they won't actually fight each other very much unless it comes down to colonial issues. Because much later down on in the game, colonial issues will be major. Hey, I already have a boat over here. Did I make that? Did I accidentally make that and not realize it? I may as well see what can I trade with 0.09, 0.09, 0.09, 0.09. See, before El Dorado, it told you the actual profit in a bright green, but now it's kind of confusing because it says this fleet costs some money in maintenance. I know I don't want to make a penal colony. That will increase the amount of settlers I get now, but increase the local unrest later. No. So, Genoa would increase by quite a lot. That's not a lot. Brazil, no. Caribbean, no. Safi, no. Borodox. Alexandria. I can trade with in a lot of different nodes. Tunis and Ragusa. I'm going to get a few more ships and have them trade at Genoa, because that is quite a lot, actually. So let's get... how many ships can I have? 76? Really? Well then, let's get 9 more then. So let's pause and quickly assess the situation. Let's build them on the places that aren't really angry at me. Make sure I'm building barks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oh, I got a loan at some point. That's gonna take a year and a half. So I'll just build up the money for the loan and be done with it. Oh, where do I need to build a temple still? Oh, a lot of temples down here, actually. I will increase the amount of money I get, and I would like to, but after I pay the loan. Forgot that I got a loan. I really wish my colonies went faster, I will say that much. But luckily I think England is going to stay over there for the most part and not really expand downward toward where I am right now. Right, sue for peace. I'll just fully annex you. You're only natives. Don't really need to forcibly vassalize you and wait 10 years. Spend 22 military power, or administrative power to make it a core. Can now declare war on the Papal State. I'm really tempted. I am incredibly tempted. Because they're only allied with Siena, and that would actually allow me to take Siena. Ooh. Because they're not allied with anybody else of note. So you know what? That is exactly what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do first, however, is gather you together. Because see, here's the thing. I'll take Siena, but the other people won't be angry at me. Also, is Urbino... No, Urbino is not part of the nation. The Holy Roman Empire. That's good. That is very good. Let's get rid of this horse. Well, do I really need to get rid of it? I'm not going to increase the amount of people I have to 60,000 yet. So that is 5 of the, what? 12? So 7 more infantry. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that's even more money that isn't going to my loan yet. Golly gee willikers. But I am making a fair amount of money. It's not terrible. Definitely not. So what advisor do I have? I really get that many... I really filled out +1 advisors? I don't even remember filling out +1 advisors. I suppose I had so much money that I figured I may as well get some extra stuff. Also, what missions do I have? Is colonies on mainland? Remove Siena from the map. Spain must be Christian. Yeah. May as well, right? Yeah. Right, now that that's done, I also want to gather all of the trade ships together. Now, where is the last one? There it is. Sail you over there. Our focus on mercantilism making life hard for merchants who trade in foreign places. Absent merchant in Genoa. Genoa is my key trading route, so no. No is the answer. Right, you gather up, because we can take both of their armies quite easily. In fact, Sienna's at war with something, I think. France, Brittany, Liege, and Hungary. Oh, and the French conquest of Modena. You're part of that, I see. Oh boy, fish. Otherwise known as bad luck. Because the fish is rather poopy poo. Now, I need to fabricate a reason to attack the Papal State first, don't I? I do. Now, what is my diplomatic? I don't know what my various diplomatic relations are. I mean, I believe Naples, France, England, oh, and Hungary. I really wish Hungary wasn't allied with France, because that really that gives Hungary a reason to live. Quite frankly, I know that's horrible to say, but that is literally the only thing that is keeping Hungary alive from being chewed up by the Ottomans or Poland right now. The fact that they have been allied to someone as powerful as England, or as France. Right, now, if I tell you to trade in Genoa, that will still be a lot of money. Do it. I get 970, 1970, 1993. You know what? I'll take it. Kinda wish it was clearer before El Dorado, like it was before El Dorado came out, but oh well. What are you doing, Molly? Oh! Where the hell did Messina come from? It's allied with quite a lot of people, that's for sure. Mali just wants access through me, because I feel like they probably hate Messina. Maybe. I actually have no clue. But they've improved relations with me. They're allied with Janneh, Timbuktu, and Morocco. I mean, I want to eventually go into there, that is for sure. Eventually, being the key word. Do you have... Yes, I want you to explore over to him. And I also want you to clean out some of the natives on your way. Such as the natives here. And then go there and clean out natives there, so that way I can get close enough to these guys. I cannot fabricate a claim on them because I do not have a territory close enough. There's Aragonese and Corsican nationalists. Why? 3.4% chance out of all those territories. 0.7% chance out of Pisa. It's just the nationalism, really. The nationalism is the main reason, because I probably put down a rebellion from them recently, and the rebellion timed out, so there you go. Needed to take a drink there. I should really repay this loan. Repay. Okay. All set. Now what I want to do is use the rest of my current money to build these down here. Okay. And then, since it doesn't look like I'm going to get enough for it to get closer, I am just going to spend some of my money on unlocking that. And that unlocks the very first manufactory. Manufactories are very important because they give you humongous amounts of money. Even the farm estate, which is the weakest one, probably gives you an average of an extra 3 or so gold a year. Which, I know gold a year doesn't sound like a lot, but divide that 3 by 12, and having several of them really helps increase your economy and allows you to field a much larger army. I once had a game that had Austria so large because they took so much territory in Germany that they could naturally field an extra 100,000 troops just because of their economy. Their economy was so good. Yes, 100,000 extra troops over their force limit, which was already like 280, because if you let Austria get huge, it is really difficult to stop, which is why I'm glad that they're getting absolutely nuked by France. What I want to do is declare war to take Rome. And that should... Siena didn't accept, did they? Siena did not accept. Go. Well, there goes my idea of taking Siena out of this. Pooh. What I need to do is sail over to Calabria to destroy their army. Because I want to vassalize Rome to keep it safe. I may be attacking it right now, but it is for a good cause. It is for a just cause. It may not like me right now, but generally the Papal State really gets beat up quite a bit unless there is someone there to protect it. And the safest way I can think of protecting it is having it as a vassal. So now I want you to get back on the boat and sail over to Roma and then attack it. And Steam message. Anywhere else I can build these? Besides over there? You shouldn't be highlighted if I can't build it somewhere. Oh. Malta, of course. Really? There's elsewhere? The islands, maybe? No? We have received reports from our colonial settlers on the Grand Coast that the land is very fertile and will be highly suitable for agricultural production of anything from cereals and vegetable foodstuff to more exotic crops. Could never have too much grain. The temple isn't even going to give me any bonuses because that is originally Portuguese. Plus, I kind of don't... Wow, they're really being aggressive there. Plus, I don't really want to build anything there because what I want to do is colonize 4 of these islands. So that way I get the Italian colonial state of the Caribbean. Because basically how it works is after there is 5 cored territories, they have to be cored, they will cede into their own colonial state. That colonial state will be serving you unquestioningly unless you really piss it off, and eventually it will actually start to colonize itself, and anything you colonize nearby that is within their colonization range. I'm not sure how to explain it. Basically, if you have something next, like the 13 colonies will eventually give way to Louisiana. They cannot cross into each other. If you make a colony in Louisiana, in the Louisiana section, after colonizing the 13 colonies section, it will just sit there until you have enough to make your version of Louisiana. I think that's good enough. But what I want to do is at least get 5 islands here to make this a little independent state, and hopefully have them colonize more islands by themselves. Which is also what I want to do over here. But at the same time, I want to colonize this shoreline so I don't have to fight anybody for it. But I only have a single colonist, who, because it's so early in the game, works fairly slowly. Can get the matchlock musket. Weapons factories. Weapons factories are, next to trade companies, the best manufactories in the game. They always produce huge amounts of money. And there is also the barracks, which is the upgrade after the armories, which I haven't even built yet, because I've been spending money on getting more money first. That is generally what I'll do, is try and get everything that I can that will give me more money. Like, as you can see, I still have all of these to build. And it is insane. But luckily, the other nations also build them, which means I don't always have to build them. Also, colonies down here in Africa, for some reason, Africa does not actually create any colonies, whatsoever. I still need to core Barbados. Good thing it's giving me 0 overextension. Our traditional fisheries are proving excellent grounds for the recruiting of sailors for our fleet. This is filtered through into better leadership for our navy. Gain 10 navy tradition. Cool. Also, this is not the best, because the higher autonomy, the grumpier places are. Ragusa's 72. But the autonomy will slowly die out over time. Now, I'm no longer royally married with Naples, which means I could, perhaps, unally them and forcefully vassalize them. I don't actually know if I want to, because the major thing is the Castilian base tax compared to them. I mean, my navy isn't that great, that's why I'm not getting any pluses, but their navy isn't that great, which is why I'm not getting any negatives. But it's the Castilian base tax, and the only way I can fix that is by getting more colonies in Africa. Alright, Rome, you will be vassalized. I will not annex you, because not only does that really piss people off, but it also gives you a thing that will either makes you force the Papal State back into its own independent sector again, or every Catholic nation in the world will absolutely hate you. And currently, both of my major allies are Catholic, so I really don't want to do that. Become a vassal of Castile. Also, I forgot, I can... Where can you go? Oh, the territory I just converted. You will not, because you have religious zeal at the moment. In fact, you will not because of the base value right now. But the religious zeal is still keeping you afloat. I don't know how much longer that will last, however. But yes, now the Papal State is successfully vassalized, and as such, successfully protected. Does that give me a little bit of aggressive expansion with nearby people? Yes. Subjugation of the papacy. Diplomatic reputation, -2. I did not know that that was actually a thing. How am I supposed to protect the Papal State from being grumpy and pissing people off left and right if I don't do that? Because now if I click on this, or my diplomatic reputation is now -4. A +1 because of legitimacy, -3 because of getting subjects, -2 because of subjugating the papacy. I want to protect the Papal State. I really want to protect the Papal State. Local missionary strength. I forgot to read that. Local missionary strength, meaning they will do that really quickly. But the thing is, people will always declare war on the Papal State, and plus the Papal State, once I take more of Italy, will be absolutely livid at me, which will translate into less papal influence. However, I can actually guarantee getting the Papal State relation up to 200 due to once those negatives die out, I will be able to I'll be able to increase relation to 200 because they are a vassal. So it will get me more paper relation, it'll just get me lower diplomatic relations, which is not the best because that means it's more difficult to improve relations with people. Alright, how are you doing? You're actually close. You are really close to getting done. Also, no, I don't have quite enough just yet for what I was thinking of right there. No, I won't invest into that yet. They are just absolutely breaking them. Like, just destroying them. That negative to diplomatic reputation, though, that really hurts. Like, that's the thing. I know they'll be angry when I take stuff like Naples and Ancona and Tuscany, because they consider those their cores. And even then, they will want them. There is, however, the fact that you are able to probably be vassalized at this point. Or forcefully attacked and vassalized. Because you only have those 3 territories and Madeira left. I took everything else of yours, so I can probably vassalize you and then take you. Because I would rather vassalize them instead of making the nation really pissed off. Because at this point, I want to save more administrative power. Because I want to get this, and I eventually want to get other ideas. I may even get the diplomatic ideas, because diplomatic relations, diplomatic reputation, province war score cost, improve relations up, cost of reducing war exhaustion, No, that's just +1 diplomatic relation. I don't know, I've never really gotten diplomatic ideas, but since I want to keep the Papal State safe, I might. Also, since I have 100 papal influence, let's request some money. Who knows, I might make them free at one point. I'll see how mad they are once I take some more territories in Italy. However, I want you to come over here and bring these people back. You're dying there, aren't you? Yes, you are. I can convert the Sicilian territory. Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh golly gee willikers. That is a humongous amount that is required to convert them. But here's the problem. Non-accepted culture, -33% to the to hold back sneeze there. Negative 33% to the tax base. To hold back another sneeze there. England is really expanding really quickly, and I don't like that at all. Because I want to at least take up to here, I think. I'm not sure if that'll go into the Guyana territory, because there's the small nation of Guyana over there. And I don't want to have to suddenly have to create Spanish Guyana. But global tariffs aren't really that useful right now, quite frankly. But I will eventually. See, those are so far away. The colonial range and settler increase are so far away that I'm really tempted to not even bother and just get this. So that way I can get a second colonist, and as such have to spend less money. But now I can build these. 3.6, 3.75, 3.75 in a territory that has a lot of local autonomy and is a non-accepted culture. Yay! Parinaba became self-sustaining. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you there and hope that that is in the... Actually, you know what? I'm going to pause real quick and look at a map of colonial territories, because I really don't want to accidentally go into the Guyana territory. No, actually the Guyana territory is much further up than I thought it was, so going there is perfectly fine. Also, apparently Trinidad is actually part of the Caribbean territory, so I might take that as well. And again, it is connected to the Guyana territory, and I don't want that. And it'll also be connected to England, which might cause a little bit of a rift between us, but I hope it doesn't. But what I can do is once my people get there, I can fabricate a claim on this territory and get another. That will be 4 out of 5. And then all that's left is the one in between, and then I'll be able to freely go to where I want to. I will also probably get this and that as of yet unexplored island. King, with the backing of the members of the Holy Roman Empire, the Emperor has decided to go through with the reform. Institute Reichsregiment. This reform has following effect. Consolidate the imperial diet and reduce the legislative complexity. Emperor gets another diplomat and +1 diplomatic reputation, and members get -1 national unrest. It is rather interesting being part of that. Stability or money? I'll go for money. Did I ever start building this? No, because I'm stupid. I mean, if I look at the farm estates, it's only 2.4. In territories that are perfectly fine. Like I said, it's the earliest one you can get unless you really push forward to the weaponry manufactories, in which case you get a lot of money from it. So I am going to build one in Sardinia and in Toledo. Now the problem with manufactories, they take 5 years to build. But when they are done, we'll get you a large amount of moolah. So now that this place is done, I will merely... Yeah, you're not advanced enough to offer vassalization. I will fabricate a claim on you. However, I forgot that I wanted to go get Portugal before I got hung up on this stuff. Trading in wine has happened to us. Effect. Stability cost modifier -25%. I believe you need to own a certain amount of the world's resource of wine. Like a large amount of the world's resource a large amount of the world's amount of a resource in order to get UR trading in this thing. You basically need to become the world's major power of trading an item. And there's one for every kind of resource. Like, there's one for the wool that I apparently have a lot of. A humongous amount of. I'd say there's one for grain, but now that I think about it, there might not be. Also, what I would need to do is build these at one point, because some territories like Barcelona, do note Barcelona has a lot of autonomy right now still, and it is a plus 1.13. So I am going to level that up right now. And now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sail my assault ships right out there. I don't have a reason to attack you, do I? Papal State's fine for now. I don't have a reason to attack you, do I? Come on. No, I need to fabricate a claim on one of your territories. Well, that's poop. Let's go for Algarve. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter which one I fabricate a claim on. I just need the claim. Still not sure what I should do with Rome. I mean, for now, holding the Roman Empire, the Roman Empire, holding the Papal State is good enough. It could be worse, but it also could be much better. But as of right now, I will merely hold them as is. And if the diplomatic reputation negative from keeping the Papal State safe becomes an issue, I will merely unvassalize the Papal State and make them free again. Which I'm sure they would be fine with. Meanwhile, France has calmed down from the war that it was in. Lorraine became free, and I think... yeah, they definitely got some territories, because you can see the amount of unrest because of unlawful territory and nationalism. Did I get anything else? Yeah, they get another territory there, and another territory there. Oh, Ulm actually did something. What did Ulm do? I think Ulm decided to fight the Protestant. Because it's key to note what territories in here fight the religious reform and what don't. Because, I mean, generally oh my, they definitely went Protestant. Generally, the territories that have, well, that's why. The territories that have centers in them will become become that religion no matter what. But it is key to see what other territories do not embrace it, because the less territories that embrace it, the less power it has. What are you doing, and why are you fighting over there? You are allied with Munster, who started this war. And Munster is getting completely walked on. Because there is too many minor players in that war. I mean, Munster is allied... well, okay, they're only allied with Frankfurt and Trier. And I believe... no, Trier is actually pretty sizable at this point. Huh. No. Pirates. Where did the pirates pop up? Ah. Well, that's only Barbados. That's fine. If a ship doesn't sail through a waterway for a long enough time, pirates will show up and reduce the amount of trade that goes on there. However, that is in a place where I don't really care about right now. What I do care about is getting the Noble Republic, and also the workshop, and more importantly, courthouses. Courthouses. -1 local unrest. But also, I'm not going to be fighting anybody who should be insanely powerful enough for me to need offensive or quantity ideas right now. And I really would like to go toward the economic ideas to get more money, to build up a better economic strength. But speaking of strength, I just got the Spanish Inquisition, which means all my missionaries are 2% more powerful. Let's take over Portugal before the end of this video. Just march both of my armies in there. They may only have 12,000, which will be easy enough. I killed their ships. All their ships are dead. Their army will be dead momentarily. Portuguese revolutionaries. Really? The Portuguese revolutionaries stopped me from crushing the Portuguese army. There we go. And Milan entered into a military coalition against me. But so far, Milan is the only one who has it. Also, France took Modena. I'm not sure if I like that or not. But now, I have a lot of people, so screw it. This will probably hurt the amount of people I have by quite a bit. But what I want to do is wait another month for morale to top up, and then assault. Because I have 20,000 infantry, that should be a little bit better. As a temporary response to different kinds of problems, obscurantism was a frequent behavior in most nations, at least until the Age of Enlightenment arose in the most advanced Western nations of the European continent. Lose 33 prestige, or for 2 years, national unrest plus 2. I'm going to go for the national unrest plus 2 for 2 years, because that's only 2 years. But you can choose to either wait for a siege to go all the way down, or you can assault it. Costs a little bit of military power, and it will also cost a lot of people, but if you can successfully do it, you don't have to wait. It will chew through infantry quite a bit, and at a lesser rate chew through their infantry. When their infantry reaches 0, it's done. However, my morale is going down fairly fast, but if I get rid of all their infantry before my morale goes all the way down, it's done. Yes, I lost quite a few people. But I have enough people and money to replace them. I know, I'm a horrible person. Let's build another weapons manufactory there. And close that. Now, I will have those two merely set on those. I just wanted to do the quick assault, because now my boats are blockading both of them. I get a trade ship. I do not want a trade ship. But when we come back, that's a caravel. When we come back, I will finish taking over Portugal. Probably come over here and take this territory as well. And you became Great Britain. When did you become Great Britain? I recently became Great Britain. But when we come back, I'll finish taking off Portugal, take the natives, make a colony here, possibly start trying to colonize the Caribbean islands, and finish sealing this off, at least on this side of Benin, so I don't have to worry about people breaking the flow, because that would really drive me nuts. But that is all for now, so until next time, see you later.